Welcome back to the Gamekeeper's Cottage Diaries. Welcome back to Gamekeeper's Cottage, and in this video we're going to look at what happened when I asked ChatGPT for planting suggestions for these two planters that are on our porch to our back door. So if you remember back to a previous video, these are planters that I bought at a reclamation centre when I went out to buy the paving slabs. So let's get into it and let's see what ChatGPT has to say when I ask it for a planting suggestion. I started my session with ChatGPT by asking it what type of plants would look good in ornamental stone planters either side of the back door of an English cottage. I then provided it with the additional information that the planters are 40 centimeters in diameter and that the door they are next to is black. ChatGPT reiterated my priorities and gave me a number of options. After reviewing the options that ChatGPT gave me and deciding that I would like the feature plant to be a rose, I realised that I had made a major mistake. While the planters are 40 centimeters wide, the actual planting area internally is only 30 centimeters. So I let ChatGPT know that and asked it to update its suggestion. ChatGPT again recommended that I could plant a rose, but told me that I had a lot less space for underplanting, but it was still able to recommend that I put in some creeping thyme and a lobelia or a trailing ivy. It also gave me planting tips and a planting plan for each of the planters. To plant the rose centrally, put the lobelia at the front trailing over the edge, and then have 3 creeping thyme plants at the sides and back. It also offered to provide me with an image of how it would look. I was very surprised at how lifelike the image was and how close the resemblance to the back door here at Gamekeeper's Cottage is. After deciding that I would be planting the rose and the creeping thyme, I asked ChatGPT if it could give me a perennial alternative for the lobelia. It came back with the recommendations of a Serbian bellflower, Mexican fleabane and a couple of other options, and after some consideration I decided that I would go ahead with the Serbian bellflower. ChatGPT then gave me a final planting plan telling me where each of the plants should be planted and provided me with some care reminders for each of the plants. With my session with ChatGPT over, let's return back to the garden. Back now to the garden, and let's have a look at the plants that I actually bought to put into the planters. So first up we have the rose that will form the centerpiece. This is Olivia Rose Austin from David Austin, a pink shrub rose. Next we have a Campanula posturana, or a Serbian bellflower as it's known. These 2 of them will be used, 1 in each pot at the front of the planter. I actually bought 3 of them because they were on offer. I will use the other one somewhere else. And then finally we have 6, mind the shadow, creeping thyme, which will go 3 per planter at the sides and at the back, and these will fill in the spaces over time. I'm going to go now and mix up some potting mixture, and then we'll be back in a while to actually start planting. I'm back out here now with my potting mix, which is 8 parts of Johnny Ennis number 3 and 2 parts of horticultural grit sand for drainage. And now it's time to start filling up the first planter. So I'm going to start off with going and getting the rose, and we'll put that in the middle. Okay, so I've got the rose in the pot and I'm just going to rearrange it a bit just to get the best positioning for it. It's just about a perfect size for this pot. So now what I'm going to do is go and get my 3 creeping thymes and I will place them one either side and one at the back and start filling in with some of the potting mix. Okay, so I've got the creeping thymes ready to one side and I'm going to start with filling in some of the potting mix. Get it all in, make sure there's no gaps anywhere. Excuse me reaching in front of the camera, but it's rather hard to get anywhere near this. Okay, so let's now start with our first creeping thyme. We'll put that one around the back, just squeeze it in. Just breaking the roots up a bit and the soil. Now for number 2, which I will put around the far side here. And now I'm going to go and get the Serbian bellflower to put in the front. Okay, so here we are with the Serbian bellflower, and I'm just going to squeeze that into the front as much as I can. So hopefully this should cascade over the front. And now all I need to do is just fill in the rest of the potting mix just to bring the level up. But I'm going to turn the camera off now because it's rather difficult to manoeuvre in this area, and I'll come back to you in a minute when I've filled it all up. So here it is, all potted up with all of the potting mix in it. All we have to do for that now is to wait for it to start blooming later in the year. But for now, I have to repeat the process for this planter. But I'm not going to film that. You've seen me planting one, so you don't need to watch me planting the other. But I'll come back at the end and just show you what the 2 of them look like. It's the end of the day, and the second planter is now also fully planted with the rose and the other plants. And I've watered it in, and as you can see, so we've now got the 2 plants in place. And I'll leave you this video now until next time. All that remains is for me to thank you for watching and to ask that if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and join us in the comments below to help the channel grow. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.